shots. He's a force to be reckoned with.
Ooh, chilling.
Just tie him up.
Fight fans, it is time for the main event.
And that's enough.
What a season she's having.
What a month of April. Remember, it's not just world-class boxing that we bring you on DAZN. The UEFA Women's Champions League is here as well, as is every live game for the new IPL cricket season. And for NFL fans, we haven't forgot you as well. We've got you covered with Game Pass, giving you all the gridiron access you need. Check your local schedules for availability. All right. Eddie Hearn isn't quite. Joshua's there. Joe Markowski's there. Jermaine, by the way, Jermaine Franklin has just walked past me. He has definitely lost a bit of weight. So Jermaine Franklin, we know, and I mentioned it earlier with Akam Barak, he's definitely been hiding away doing the sessions, and he looks in incredible shape, a lot better than he did against Dillian White. We are nearly going to kick off. You can see both guys behind me. Eddie Hearn is in place for this one. So it's the one you've all been waiting for. It's Anthony Joshua versus Jermaine Franklin. It's been billed as New Dawn. I think Eddie Hearn's ready now to kick off the main event press conference.
The New Dawn of Anthony Joshua. Live exclusively on DAZN. Rising with a clear mission. Come back stronger. Full focus. Working around the clock. From dawn till dark. Restless. Relentless. Ready. Redemption is in the ring. Witness the rise. Live only on DAZN.
Well, welcome back to London ahead of a huge night on Saturday night. From the O2 Arena, the Lion's Den, the scene of so many great Anthony Joshua nights, we return there for perhaps one of the most important fights of his career. Anthony Joshua takes on Jermaine Franklin, live and exclusive on DAZN around the world. We cannot wait for the return. It's been nearly 10 years since Anthony Joshua turned professional, 7 years since he performed at the O2 Arena, just a couple of hundred tickets away from a complete sellout, as we look forward to a great night of boxing, great undercard, and a big heavyweight night for Anthony Joshua back at the O2. Of course, this time around on DAZN, we're delighted to welcome Joe Markowski and the team, our global broadcast partner, as the growth continues in the US and in the UK, just an unrivaled schedule and value for money for the customer. We know, as always, available on the iPhone, on the tablet, through the smart TV, but now, of course, via Sky, channel 429, via Virgin, and also in the pubs. What you've been asking for so long as this platform continues to grow globally on a major night for DAZN this Saturday with the first fight of Anthony Joshua's new contract. And before we talk about the fight, we're going to go down to Joe Markowski to talk about what is a huge night for DAZN on Saturday.
Yes, well, thank you, Eddie, and thank you for you all for being here today. A huge night for us, as you say, as part of a huge schedule this spring in the UK and around the world. Several homecomings. Canelo's homecoming on May the 6th. Katie Taylor's homecoming in Ireland on May the 20th. And of course, AJ's homecoming of sorts also in London at the O2 this weekend. Having worked with AJ for several years now around the world, we are delighted and very proud to be the exclusive broadcaster in the UK for AJ's career and for this fight this Saturday night. You've talked about our increased distribution. We're extremely excited about making this content available via DAZN to anyone on any screen. And we're extremely excited about what Saturday night brings, what it means for AJ's career, what it means for our business, what it means for our partnership with Matchroom. So we're tremendously excited and we're looking forward to Saturday night.
Yeah, you talk about that schedule upcoming, a huge couple of months, of course, starts with AJ. You talk about homecomings. Jesse Rodriguez next week trying to become a two-division world champion. A couple of weeks after that, Joe Caldina trying to become a two-time champion in Wales. Throw in the Misfits, throw in the Golden Boy shows, throw in additional boxing to be announced soon on DAZN. Unrivaled schedule moving forward, and the plan to keep locking in those big nights as we progress in the months of 2023.
Absolutely. We're going to keep investing in the best quality boxing schedule we can deliver. But this week's all about AJ. It's all about delivering value to our customers. The fight's available within your DAZN subscription in the UK, available via all those channels that you mentioned. So we're tremendously excited, very proud, and looking forward to a big night on Saturday night.
Thank you, Joe. We go to the fight of what is and has become one of the most important in the heavyweight division right now. As we said, Anthony Joshua last at the O2 7 years ago. The first fight for 7 years that doesn't involve a world title. On one hand, people talk about a dominant performance leading to Tyson Fury or a shot to become a three-time world champion. On the other hand, a bad performance can lead to the end of the road. High-level pressure on Saturday night at the O2. And this man to my left looking to derail that momentum. And welcome to the team. Firstly, Dimitri Salita, welcome. You're a big boxing fan, obviously, and you're always excited, especially when your guy has the opportunity of the underdog in this fight. You saw him put a great performance against Dillian Whyte. You weren't very happy with me that night. You felt that he won, and you actually said to me in the ring that night, he won that fight. Please give him the opportunity to fight Anthony Joshua, and we're just a couple of days away from that now.
Well, we're very grateful for the opportunity and always love being in England for big fights. Very grateful and very honored. As Muhammad Ali used to say, the will has to be bigger than the skill. And in this fight, Jermaine's will is going to be bigger than Anthony Joshua's skill. Anthony Joshua is a great fighter, someone that I look up to and admired for many, many years and still admire. He's a great fighter. The show is appropriately called New Dawn and New Day because a new day is coming with Jermaine Franklin. I've seen him train in Florida several weeks ago. He looks in incredible shape. His trainer for many, many years, Jesse, is going to be in his corner, had a great camp, and we're looking forward to a big upset.
What wins this fight for Jermaine Franklin? I mean, we talk backstage, you have a genuine look of excitement and belief in your eyes. You talk a great game up here, but you believe he wins this fight, and you believe he does it how?
I believe that as fighters, we have 4 things that drive us. So Anthony Joshua is a world champion, made tremendous paydays, is a celebrity, great fighter. He's accomplished everything. In the ring, when you're faced with a feeling of being uncomfortable, you think about all these forces that drive you. And Anthony Joshua has accomplished all these things. Jermaine Franklin is a hungry fighter who has the skills and the potential to accomplish this. And every day of this training camp, every day of his life, he's been dreaming about this moment. I believe that Anthony, at this stage of his career, has to have his trainer motivate him, has to have a sports psychologist or whatever it is, different outward sources motivate him to be successful. Jermaine, on the other hand, is internally motivated from the time he gets up to the time he goes to sleep. His dreams are of winning this fight. And I believe when Jermaine is going to make Joshua uncomfortable, those are our keys to victory.
Well, let's talk to the trainers. Jesse Addison, welcome. You were on great form for the last fight with Dillian Whyte, and you come to this fight full of confidence as well, and I guess full of Jermaine believing now that he is a true elite heavyweight after that last performance. He looks in tremendous shape. He says he didn't really leave the gym after the Dillian Whyte fight. You come with the same confidence as you did for that fight week press conference as well?
Of course, I come with even more confidence. We went to training camp in Florida. We had a very nice training camp. I got a chance to do things the way that I wanted to do, the way that I know was best fit for Jermaine, and we put a lot of assignments out in front of him, and he passed every assignment. So now we're just looking to pass a big test Saturday.
Obviously, there's a lot of respect from both teams, but what do you see in this fight that gives you the confidence that Jermaine wins this? What are the keys to victory for him on Saturday?
Hard work. He had worked very, very hard. He had worked extremely hard. Like I say, we went to Florida. We dug down real deep. We trained in the morning. We trained in the evening. We trained at night. We didn't rest. We just trained. And so Jermaine is ready. He's ready for this fight. This is something that I prepared him for. I told him that one day he would be up against Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury. And so now, you know, that plan is coming a reality.
Obviously, a lot of pressure on Anthony Joshua as well. You feel that you got him at the right time. He needs to bounce back with victory, new training team as well, but you believe he's there for the taking on Saturday night?
Well, at any given time that a fighter get in the ring, he's there for the taking. I respect everything that Anthony Joshua has accomplished as a fighter. He's a great fighter. I don't feel like that if he loses this fight, his career is over. You know, that's just a new era of boxing. Back when Muhammad Ali and George Foreman and Joe Frazier, them guys were losing fights on the regular, but they would come right back and they'll fight for a world championship. And I think that's where we're going back to now, because we got so many gifted heavyweights out there. But yeah, of course, when Jermaine get in there with him this Saturday night, he will suffer a loss.
We expect a great fight. You have two good heavyweights, and in the opposite corner you have a big, strong heavyweight with fast hands that can really punch as well. It's going to be an explosive fight. You see your man winning inside the distance on Saturday?
I see my man winning. I see my man winning the fight. If we win by knockout, he'll win the fight. If we have to go decision, he'll win the fight. As far as him being a big man, we don't worry about that. Jermaine have been fighting big mans his whole career. Going through the amateurs, we fought guys that was 6'6", 6'7", 6'8". He was the shortest man in the division. And in the amateur tournament, this is a tournament where you don't even get a chance to prepare. You fight one day, you fight the next day, and go on. So we well prepared for this.
In the opposing corner, Derek James. Derek, welcome. Your first fight under Anthony Joshua. I was there just a couple of weeks ago in the gym watching you guys work hard. A good camp, a good experience, a good pupil as well. People talk about dedication, people talk about desire. You see that in droves from Anthony Joshua.
No doubt, yeah. I mean, I think that, first of all, I'm happy to be here, you know, and I think that I learned a lot about Anthony from his dedication and the fact that he has always a student. He's always wants more and wants more and wants more. And so I think that today, I mean, this Saturday, it'll be a night where we'll show everything that we've been working on.
Obviously, an unbelievable career, 7 years of world championship fights as well. This is the kind of fight that if we're talking about regaining the world heavyweight title, fighting the likes of Wilder and Fury and those kind of guys, do we look for a statement here, victory by any means necessary, expecting a tough fight against this man as well?
I think that Jermaine Franklin is a very tough fighter. I think that for me, I really don't care about how we get it. I just care that we get it. You know what I mean? I think that, or if it's get to a point to where I could see it, let's go get it. I'm like, let's go get it right now. But I think that initially he's just going in there, it's all about winning the fight. Regardless of how he wins, I don't care about that. I just care that he comes out victorious, and if I see the knockout, let's go get him. If he's ready to take him, let's take him. I'm going to tell him.
And finally as well, for you as a trainer of the year last year, of course, right. Great relationships with some pound-for-pound great fighters, but right. A big night for you in your career as well. It's going to be a packed-out, sold-out show on Saturday night. The eyes of the world watching this man as well. You're excited as well with all your experience in the sport, and you two seem to have a great relationship. It means a lot on Saturday.
Yeah, like I said, I'm happy to be here. This is my first fight as a heavyweight trainer. You know what I mean? So, and you're coming over to the UK, and everybody's been very receptive, very nice. So it's good. I mean, we come out to. It's all about the focus. It's all about how he's focused and how much he's dedicated, how much he sacrificed to be here. He sacrifices a lot to leave the comfort of the UK to come to Dallas. Even in the wintertime, it was hot. So it's like, you sacrifice. And that's what it's all about. Everybody's working hard. Everybody's pushing. But it's always about what you're willing to give up to be successful. Because everybody's working hard. But everybody's not willing to give up something. And he was willing to give up something. And you're going to see how that pays off on Saturday.
Thank you, Derek. Yeah. Jermaine, welcome back. I see a different Jermaine Franklin this time around, for the Dillian Whyte fight. I don't know whether you really believed in yourself. You'd never boxed at that level. You put a great performance in. You felt that you won the fight. It was a good competitive fight. This time, you look lighter, you look leaner, you look full of confidence as well. And as far as opportunities go in the heavyweight game, probably the biggest is presented to you on Saturday night.
Yeah, well, first off, I want to say it's an honor to be back, and I appreciate the opportunity. But yeah, you know, in the beginning, I've just been on a little health journey, so you know, changed my eating habits, changed stuff I was consuming. Body weight just started falling off, you know. But we have more time to prepare for this fight, so I'm more ready. I'm more in shape. I'm just ready to let the fireworks go.
You speak with a lot of confidence to the media in the build-up to this fight, as you did in the Dillian Whyte fight as well. Different kind of challenge in Anthony Joshua, different kind of style as well, faster heavyweight, you know, but still, you know, you fought a big, strong heavyweight in Dillian Whyte as well. You've been watching this man, I'm sure, like many have over the years, always believed that you could beat him.
I mean, I'm just a huge fan of the sport. You know, I watch a lot of boxing, so you know, I watched AJ fights way before we even, you know, had this opportunity or thought it was possible. You know, I'm just a huge fan of the sport. But yeah, my confidence is always great. I think you in the wrong business if you don't truly believe in yourself. It's not the right game for you. So you always have to have the extreme utmost confidence in yourself, and you know, you just have to put the faith and the works behind it.
I've seen many interviews where you say you're gonna knock him the fuck out. Is that the plan on Saturday?
That's what I'm trying to do. I mean, I'm gonna get the win by any means possible. But if I can put him on his ass, that's what I'm gonna try to do.
And you believe that's possible? You look at where he's at in his career right now, the fights that he's been in.
I mean, anything is possible. You know, I come from a place with not a lot of possibilities, so I made it this far. Anything is possible.
And finally, when you fight Anthony Joshua, we know the eyes of the world are watching as well. Is that part of the motivation going into this fight? You know that the World Heavyweight Championship comes through victory on this
just
fight.
my passion for the sport. And, you know, my team and my family. That's all the motivation I need.
And finally, Saturday night, you believe you are victorious. Great fight last time, but in front of 17,000 people at the O2, live on DAZN around the world, Jermaine Franklin beats Anthony Joshua on Saturday.
That's how I believe it happened Saturday. I believe my hands get raised at the end of the fight.
AJ, back in the UK, feels good. You know, I know you always say you don't care where you fight, but going back to that changing room where you made your professional debut, going back to that changing room where you won the Commonwealth title, the British title night against Dillian Whyte, the world title against Charles Martin, the defence against Brazil. It's been an unbelievable journey, 10 years this year since this all began. And some say Saturday night, although you will say, and many fighters will say, just another fight. A lot of people saying one of the most important of your career.
Yeah, it's big. It's massive. It's a big fight for me, for sure. I respect my opponent fully. I respect everything that he says he's been through, and we're here to rock and roll. And I respect my supporters as well, so I put in the work. And I respect my coach as well, so I want to make sure I go out there and I get the job done in good fashion. I like the fact that you always dangle carrots in front of me, telling me if you do this, then this is here and that's there, always leading on to big things. And I dream big, and I want bigger and better things in my life. As I stated in the last press conference, you know, I want to secure the bag and move on in my life.
This time around, Derek James, one voice, and I know that, you know, that's been refreshing for you as well. How much have you enjoyed that experience? You seem to have a close relationship already, a lot of respect and trust on Saturday night, and looking forward to going through the process of warming up, listening to coach in the corner and executing the game plan.
Yeah, the goal's not to make it back to the corner. The goal's to take him out. And I respect Derek fully, and I trust everything he's been saying. Like, when you're a student of the game, there's certain times where you can be on the same level as people that you speak to about boxing. But when I speak to Derek, and I obviously ask him certain questions, the knowledge he spits is phenomenal. Like, the knowledge that he gives me is really, really, really good. And we're at a stage now, like, when you're at this side of the fight, the physical work's done. All fighters know, like, fight week, you're still training because it's just part of our nature, but the physical work's done. It's all about the knowledge. That's what you got to train your mind. And honestly, Derek is up there as one of the best people I spoke to about boxing. So I appreciate his time. I appreciate the fact that he took me on, because I'm sure he's a well sought after coach. And yeah, man, I'm just looking forward to showing him that he ain't wasted his time by taking on this project.
When I came to Dallas a couple of weeks ago, I was quite surprised by the simplicity, but I know you don't overthink surroundings in camp, but it was very different to what you've been working with over the last couple of years. I know you never wanted that kind of attention, but it was refreshing to see just the hard work and the basics of boxing that you reverted to there.
Yeah, Yeah. When you strip boxing back, it is very basic. A lot of it's down to self-belief, number one. That's how you start off. And then, as I said, knowledge. You just gain knowledge and you just apply it in the ring. You fight with desire, and then you can add some skills along the way. I was based in the Olympic gym in Sheffield for years. Obviously, that's a big setup because you've got hundreds of fighters, international fighters coming in. But in the world-class boxing gym in Texas, just a few of us pros just putting in the groundwork. And as you said, that's probably what you saw was different, is I'm not around like hundreds of other fighters in the gym. It's just like 3 or 4 of us just putting in work. But like when you disconnect from everything, which is hard to do in this day and age, we're so connected, I took myself away to disconnect, and all the answers, well, all the questions I've been asking myself, the answers came in that like quiet time, do you know what I mean? And it's been a good camp, and it's good to be back in the UK, but everyone knows the UK is a little bit dead now. So I just can't wait to get back out to Texas and get back to putting in work.
This guy says he's going to knock you out. You've heard it a million times as well, but you're always a scout, and there will be people that say this is a great time to be fighting Anthony Joshua, but maybe
it's the worst time.
Exactly. Do you feel that way?
Yeah, the more he talks, the bigger grave he digs for himself, but it is what it is, isn't it? I could say a lot of things about him, but I respect my opponent. It's not for me to talk, it's for you to do all the talking. It's for me to like do my job on Saturday. And that's just really, honestly, what I'm focused on. As I said, like from round 1 to round 12, I'm prepared for a 12-rounder, but I do believe in my ability, my counter-punching and all that type of stuff to definitely put a dent in Jermaine. But as I said, I'm not here to talk, I'll just do what I have to do because I really want to win.
And that desire, we know it's still there. You're looking forward to, we know you say you're not an entertainer, but you have entertained the public for so many years. They will be out watching in huge numbers on Saturday night to see where you're at, I guess. And personally, for all the hard work you've put in, you want to put a statement together on Saturday night for the work that you've put in.
Yeah, and that's personal. And as I said, that's to show my coach, like, I respect everything that the time that he's put in with me. So, in terms of entertaining, I don't really like, as we see, but we don't play boxing. But at the same time, like people from years back, like the empires, they've just loved people coming together and fighting. So they'll be entertained regardless. I think we'll see blood, and I just really look forward to getting in now. I'm so happy I'm fighting again because, as I said, looking at the champions, it's just a shambles. Like when you're trying to compete mandatories or negotiations, honestly, like I just can't believe that no fights have been made at the championship level. But I'm just so happy that I can get back to work and get on with my job, and I'm looking forward to this assignment, and I can't wait, honestly. I'm really looking forward to it.
And the final word from both camps, Jermaine, I know victory by any means necessary is a standard line, but quite boring to some people. How do you win this fight on Saturday night?
I win by any means necessary. You know, like I said, if we could get the knockout, that's what we're going for. If not, then we win by points, but we dominate.
And AJ, you going with a standard line, or are you going to take this guy out on Saturday night?
What's going to happen? I'm going to come out, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do... As you said, by any means necessary. We're just here to do a job. And as I said, like, I respect my opponent, may the best man win. And one thing he said is like, he started eating right for this camp and all that stuff. I think he's dealing with someone that's been living right from the get-go. Like, I've been putting in work from the day I started this business. So, yeah, it's going to be a good fight because he's up against a real one, for sure.
Well, one of the most important of Anthony Joshua's career on Saturday night, April the 1st, live on DAZN around the world from the O2 in London. Anthony Joshua against Jermaine Franklin. Wherever you are, do not miss it. We're going to have a face-to-face up here and then additional media on the red carpet. Thank you.
I like it. I like that, what feels like a bit of extra aggression from AJ. A man of few words, but he made sure his words had meaning to them today.
Yeah, what he just said there, you know, before he left. Derek wasn't dealing with a guy that isn't a professional from the very beginning of his career. So that tells me that he didn't have much to do, like, with him. Like, it wasn't a lot of change that he had to make. Just, I guess, bring the best out of him.
You know how Darren Barker was talking about AJ fighting on the front foot? Well, this is AJ on the front foot and counter-punching verbally. You know, he said things like, "You just digging a deeper grave."
Yeah.
That's the kind of
scared
AJ
me. That scared me.
See.
Yeah, I saw Jermaine Franklin looking forward. As soon as AJ did that, he looked at him.
Yeah.
He looked at him
and
as
he
well.
kind of smirked like, "Oh, all right, okay." Okay.
Yeah. What was interesting there was AJ mentioned it a lot of times. I don't want to let Derek James down.
Yeah.
Like he's almost like Derek James is taking a gamble on him. AJ is a former unified heavyweight champion, but I don't want to let Derek James down. He kept on saying that.
Well, it's still a challenge for Derek James. I mean, look, he even said he's never trained a heavyweight before, and this guy has already been unified champ of the world. So he wants to keep that legacy going as a trainer as well. I mean, he wants that win count.
Here we go, face to face. Let's have a look at this. Yeah.
The size difference is always there with AJ for the most part.
Definitely a size difference. Look at that. I like to look at the face. That's it. I always study AJ's face because he kind of wears his emotions on his sleeve sometimes, and I just want to see what is he thinking right now.
What is Franklin thinking right now?
He looks like AJ. Look like he's saying, "I'm going to punish him."
Yeah, that's what it looks
exactly
like. This is. If you're looking at me, I'm built for destruction.
Yeah.
Now, Whereas I think Franklin looks. He's chiseled. Look at his jaw. He looks chiseled. He looks in great shape.
Is he saying now, wow, like
you're a big guy.
This is a big guy. This is not Dylan White who I'm facing on Saturday night, but it still looks confident.
I think Franklin is just comfortable. I think this is something he's been doing since he was young.
Exactly.
He's just comfortable. I think there's less pressure on him.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So I think he's comfortable. And to go back to that comment about AJ, what you were saying about him saying about his trainer, I think that's just his respect and his appreciation for his trainer. So he just doesn't want to, he doesn't want to take that time that he took out for him for granted. Damn, look how big AJ looks.
He looks big. He looks big. I'm going to ask him that. He hates talking about the size question, but I'm going to ask him the size question. I've got to look. Both fighters.
What are you going to ask him? How big is?
I'm going to say, how much do you weigh? I'm going to say, how much do you weigh right now? Because he's been as big as 18 stone 4 for Carlos Takam. I thought that was a bit too big, and he's been as low as I think 16-11 for Andy
into American pounds.
I'll convert it after this. Both fighters are going to join us, so don't go anywhere. We're going to hear from Anthony Joshua and from Jermaine Franklin. The press conference may be done, but Fight Week is just getting started. On Friday, we're going to bring you the weigh-in live from Westfield Shopping Centre in Shepherd's Bush. Then on Saturday, we have 10 fights for you, 5 on Before the Bell, which gets going at 3:45 ahead of the 5 more on the main card from 7 o'clock, culminating in the big one. Anthony Joshua versus Jermaine Franklin. AJ is going to make his way over to us. It's weird because he's trying to make his way over to us, Anthony Joshua, but he's literally shaking hands with every single person as he comes.
Do you think he likes that?
I think he likes doing that. I think, he appreciates that people have come out to him.
I don't know.
People have come out to him. Here comes the big man.
How's things?
Not bad. Is this reinforced, what we're standing on right now? Is it reinforced? How are you, big man? How's things?
Yes. Good to be here. Good to see you guys. Obviously, it's been a while. Since I've seen you both.
No, he took our place over here. He said, we need somebody local over here.
Shift over a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's good to see you guys. When was the last time you was in the UK?
Usyk, for the first Usyk fight, 2021.
It's been a long time
since then,
That's when you change all across the board. Stop following everybody on Instagram. Including us.
Let me tell you how to use Insta. Let me show you how to use Insta. I was telling my friend about this the other day. So if you only follow the people that you already know, when you go online, you tend to see things that you already probably know about someone. Yeah, you spoke to your friend, they're on holiday, you spoke to this person, they're working. So what I've done, I've only followed things that are out of my reach and things that I have a vast interest in.
Okay.
Could be the animal planet, the universe,
In other words, he's not interested in us, bro.
I can see that.
No.
So, follow things that you have complete interest in outside of your general knowledge. And that's how I use it. That's how I feel like I get the most out of social media now. And my Explore page.
What, were you guys hurt by it?
You always got the right thing.
You guys hurt by it?
I was a little tiny hurt. I was like, yo, I called Barack. I was like, yo.
I messaged him.
I got the phone call. And I got a message. It's like, Ade, I'm changing up here. I'm switching up a little bit. No, I got it indeed. When did you get into the country?
A week ago, about 10 days ago.
Yeah.
Well, last Thursday, 10 days ago or so.
I feel like we haven't seen much of this Dallas fight camp, which I actually like. I like almost the hidden away, and then you come out, and then we see a different AJ, a new AJ, maybe the same AJ. What's it been like in Dallas, Texas?
That's been good. It's how to expect. It's obviously like I could talk about the heat, but it ain't about Dallas. It's about the coach.
Right.
Yeah.
And Derek James, I don't want to put pressure on him and say like, whatever happens in my career, I'm going to put down to me.
Yeah.
But I feel like Derek James as an individual is one of the best coaches I've seen and I've spoken to. And I really respect him. So you put Derek James in anywhere in America, anywhere in the UK, I would still get the benefits of working with him. But just in general, Texas, it's warm, it's out of the way. But I'm there for Derek James.
Yeah.
Well, what would you say, what moment you would say during camp where you said to yourself, take me back to that moment where you said, okay, I made the right decision, I'm in the right place?
It's interesting. So when I made that comment to myself was basically, when it got really tough, I said, isn't this what I searched for?
Right.
Isn't this what I've been looking for?
You wanted to be pushed to the limit.
You see what I'm trying to say?
Right.
So in a way, it was like, that's when I found out that this is where I wanted to be, because I said to myself, this is what I've been searching for. So why am I saying, like, you know, sometimes athletes, they get back, I'm in the car like, man, this guy's crazy.
It's 150 degrees out here.
Yeah, he's a hard worker. And remember, he only retired like 13 years ago.
Right.
So he knows, he's got that fresh memory of what it's like to be in tough fights. So I like that fact as well, that he pushes me. He knows how to get me fight fit. Not just, I'm going to get you fit for like what I'm doing today.
Right.
I'm trying to get you fight fit. So everything that you think I'm doing now, don't worry about it. Just keep on pushing through, because I've got a goal to get you towards a fight.
Right. We spoke to Derek James, and he was like, past the training, I like him as a friend. Like, we could talk. Like, you guys could sit there and talk. And you said that he taught you a lot of things, and he's one of the smartest guys you know.
Yeah.
But what was the first thing he told you where you said, oh, snap, this guy is smart?
Yeah, man, you gotta put some dick on that right hand, man.
I don't know how you do that.
Yeah.
Don't be trying to do that.
He got Texas on you.
I don't know
slang in America is
different.
Yeah, so slang in America is different. But,
what about the other guys in the gym? Did you spend all your time with Errol Spence and Jamal Charlo?
Obviously,
What do you get from those
different
guys?
times.
Right.
But one thing I like about the States is when you're talking about music, entertainment, Hollywood, boxing, I feel like a lot of the best athletes have come from the environment. So when you talk about like Derek James, he's probably been in the gyms of the Mayweathers coming up and Tysons, and so I can get first-hand knowledge and experience. And being around Errol and these guys as well, is they've obviously, like Errol, that rumor about him sparring Mayweather and this and that. So they've learned things from being around one of the greatest fighters of all time. So I'm around the environment. Now, when I see him working, I'm saying, rah, he just went 45 minutes non-stop.
Right.
And then he's gone and done another 45 minutes. Errol, I can see why he's got the success he's got firsthand. When I'm in the UK, UK's been good. Like, I love UK boxing. But I think every fighter coming up should try and travel to the States or Russia or wherever it may be that they have in Cuba, and go and learn from people that have a long line of success in their country. Because, like, as I said up there, knowledge. If you can gain some information, I think you can go far. And being in that gym, I'm getting so much knowledge by just watching as well.
So we all talking about, oh, we think we're going to see a new AJ. I think you were excited to show what you got and buried down, right, that you just learned.
I'm excited to fight.
Oh, okay.
I'm excited to fight. That's the main thing. I'm looking forward to getting in there and doing my job. And I could definitely say that there's things that I know as a fighter, but a good coach will always reinforce these things,
That's what I'm talking about.
And I feel like he's just kind of, but it's the basics. It's the basics. And I heard one saying where, like, Kobe, like, I'm not saying I'm like on Kobe's level, but they said that it was crazy to see him warm up, because someone at his stature, you would think he'll be doing some crazy training, but he just done the basics really well. And Derek James,
like putting the dick on the right hand. The basic.
You got to put that, you know what I'm saying? So Derek's telling me, listen, you got to rotate with them punches. And that's like, use your body, don't use your shoulders, use your body.
Right.
That's how you set that up. To sit.
I'm happy you mentioned body because you do look bigger.
Bro.
Yeah, you look a lot bigger.
Okay.
Is it on purpose if you put a bit of extra size on for destruction, or is it just a case of those chopping trees and that Texas barbecue?
So, interestingly, when you talk about the weight stuff, we were talking about in the gym today, so we come straight from the gym. What do you weigh? The guy was asking me that owns the gym. I said, I don't really train for a specific weight because I'm a heavyweight. I just train and go for feeling. But I think the thing maybe why you're seeing the weight now is that when you've lost a few times, you have to do things properly in order to come back. So in terms of what it's come down to is nutrition and sleep. When I first started, I used to be on the weights, SEC and all that stuff. But when you go 12 rounds a few times, and I know like Jermaine Franklin, I think he's fit. He can do the 12 rounds and he does them well. Weights don't win fights. They help, but they don't win fights. So I haven't been doing the weights, but what I've been doing is putting the right nutrition in me.
Okay.
And, feeding my body. And I think that the results are the hard work I'm doing in the gym, sparring, heavy bag, mitt work, shadow boxing. When you're feeding your body after a hard session, your body's just getting stronger.
It just absorbs that food.
Absorbs that food. Before, I would just kind of leave the gym. I wouldn't eat for 4 or 5 hours until I'm home, I'm showered, and my body's depleting. Now I'm eating, putting it back on. And I think that's where you're seeing.
AJ, we're talking about this Derek James talking, how comfortable you feel in Texas. Has anybody from the old regime reached out, at least with positive vibes, saying good luck or I'm going to be at the fight? I'm talking about McCracken and those guys.
I haven't spoken to McCracken. Okay. Unfortunately, you know that whole breakup, like that breakup. But that whole it was tough. It was tough because
it's a long relationship.
Yeah, man, you got a lot of respect for these guys, but at the same time, it's like I always say it with my friends and my family as well. When I'm at war and I'm fighting, I can't always be the guy maintaining relationships as well. Right. And yeah, some people haven't even reached out to me as well. But I know when I'm done boxing, I can then go and sit down and spend time. But I'm in camp. Right. But yeah, I respect them. Other people from other places like Virgil, I went to see Virgil Hunter, we talk, Ronnie Shields, Bristol Core and all that, but from my Angel Fernandez, Joby Clayton, Sean Murphy, but Rob, we haven't really had too much dialogue. Rob's always been like, he's a busy man.
It will happen, you'll speak to Rob, it's just going to happen.
He's a busy man, he's a busy man.
You were ringside for the Jermaine Franklin, Dillian White fight. There was a lot of talk of if Dillian White won that fight, it would have been Dillian White. Yeah. It's Jermaine Franklin. What did you get from Jermaine Franklin, seeing him up close in person for that fight?
Good counter puncher, very good, how to explain it? Like comfortable at...
Yes.
Yeah?
In the pocket.
Yeah, like I'm a big guy, so people expect me to be upright. It's probably easier to hit. He's not like that. He's not. You don't really get hit with 1-2s. When you look at Jermaine Franklin, you don't really get hit with 1-2. Kind of steps back, sits down on his punches, slips and slides. He's a good operator in that ring. Very efficient. Very efficient. He done the rounds with Dylan. That's why I feel like the Jermaine Franklin I'm facing is going to be better than what I saw that night.
He physically looks a lot better already.
And I've learned as well, like, don't underestimate anyone. Be on my game, even though I'm not worried about, like, what anyone does in the ring because I'm too invested in them. I've got to focus on myself. So I don't underestimate him, but I've got to kind of focus on myself and be fully focused.
You think Dillian White won that fight?
Do you want me to be honest?
Yeah.
I didn't really care who won the fight. I swear to you, I wasn't even watching it for that. So, do you know what it is?
And you didn't even think you was going to fight neither one of them anyway, right? At the time? Or maybe Dillian. Maybe
Dylan. Or Jermaine. Eddie was kind of saying whoever wins is going to sell.
Okay.
I trusted Dylan. I didn't care. But what I saw in that fight, I think Dylan, what he was doing, he was riding a lot of the shots. He come with that new...
new defense.
Little Buddy McGraw.
So
Joe George Foreman.
So even though Franklin was letting off maybe more punches per round, I think Dylan thought he was blocking him. Yeah. But from where we're sitting, we can see Jermaine throwing punches, so it looks like he won. Yeah. So I think like in the fight game, Dylan's so experienced now, he thought he can just tuck up and win the fight that way, but work rate wins the fight. You got to be seen to be the busier man.
What was your first impression?
They're in my ear, he's got to go. They're in my ear, they're saying AJ's got to go. No, go on. One more.
He said, hold on, producer.
He's talking about... If AJ says, hold on, we got 2 more minutes.
No, listen, what's your take on all of the Fury-Usyk talk and that fight finally falling apart? Like, what was your first impression when you heard this off?
I looked at myself and I thought, thank God I'm not the champion because, no, real talk, because I'm fighting Saturday. You know, as a fighter, it's so important to stay busy and stay active. the only way you get better, you have to be consistently fighting. And these long layoffs that we're having ain't good for the development of a fighter, and we're getting older and the years are going by. So that's the first thing I thought, like, damn, if I was in that position, I'll be switching, because before that, I fought September 2021, I fought August 2022, then I won't be fighting until July. It's too much. And it's just crazy. Honestly, it's crazy. You know, the heavyweight championship belt should be getting fought.
Exactly.
Yeah. As much as possible. Defending. He loses it. He goes and defends it.
Right.
Brings excitement to the game.
All right, we got to go. He's got to go. Honestly.
Don't go. Listen, see, he said, go ahead. Listen, last one. I never heard your take on this. I heard Eddie Hearn, and I know what I think on this. Eddie Hearn was like, we need to go back to the drawing board and get like a top 15 guy. I think this guy is, this is not taking a break. This is not taking a soft touch. This is a real fight. Is that how you feel? Like, this is the top guy.
Yeah. I respect Jermaine. I respect Jermaine. I respect myself. I respect him, for sure. I don't know where he's ranked in the rankings, but remember, I just come off of 2 losses and...
But still, you're not getting a soft touch.
I feel like it's crazy of me to get a soft touch. I think that's not the right...
That's what I wanted to hear.
It's not the right place for me to be in my career, because when you get soft touches, it builds a full sense of confidence.
Right.
And when you get thrown into the real...
Right.
Yeah.
With the real lions.
Yeah, you're going to be like, right, I'm not used to it.
Yeah.
So I'd rather have it tough. I'm looking forward to a tough fight on Saturday, because I feel like we're going to get set up for a bigger fight in the summer.
You get yours in now.
No, I've got to wrap it. I can't even get questions. I've got to wrap it. I've got to wrap it.
Everyone at home, I appreciate you guys as well. And you guys, it's good to see you. Good to see you as well.
Good to see you.
Thank you.
And I'll catch up with you soon, yeah?
Indeed. Good luck, champ. The Zone, the home of AJ. Make sure you scan your QR code if you don't want to miss this fight on Saturday. Talking about Jermaine Franklin, he's waiting as well. So we're going to speak to Jermaine Franklin when we come back.
All right, cool.
Certain fighters, they wait for the bell. That's not a true warrior. A true warrior will wait until the referee rips you apart. I've been in many defining moments in my career. Dylan White fight, which was a straight out war. These are all times that will add to the legacy.
Oh, so he's getting up from that.
It was tough, but it made me.
All right, look at this. By the power of magic, boom, Jermaine Franklin appears. By the way, first thing seeing you're lean. Yeah. You're lean in the face. I mean, I interviewed you straight after the Dillian White fight, and you look like you've lost about 20 pounds.
Yeah, I lost about 20-something. Just been on a health journey. Outside of boxing, you know, got health problems running the family, so it's just been changing my life, you know.
There you go.
Yeah.
Were you even thinking about the weight, or you was just like, I'm just getting in shape?
No, it was just a general decision. Like, me and my girl stopped eating red meat. You know, I've been juicing more, trying not to eat processed stuff a lot. So when we started working out, I probably had lost like 6 or 7 pounds before I went back to the gym. But when we started working out, I couldn't even keep the weight on.
How did it feel though physically? You know, after making that lifestyle change and eating clean and changing
feel
the
way
life,
better.
like working out in the gym.
I got a ton of more energy.
Right?
I don't be sluggish or nothing no more. I recover faster. It's like a handful of just incitements and things about it. It just changed the whole lifestyle basically.
All right, let's get to the big one. You versus AJ on Saturday. You saw him. There's a face-to-face at the red carpet event the other day. You saw him again today. What's it like when you're seeing him that close up and personal, and physically he looks a lot bigger as well?
I mean, I just try to stare at people's soul a little bit. See how they feeling. I'm big off of energy. I want to see if your energy feels confident enough.
What'd you see?
I didn't see the confidence. I sensed a little worriness.
Because this is one time that I would say I saw the confidence. I thought.
No,
I saw comfortability that sometimes you don't see in a fight.
I didn't see it. I seen a little bit of worriness, a little bit of timidness.
Face to face.
Yeah. Not sure, and I'm not gonna say that's because of me. You know, he can have other things going on in life, other pressures going on. Yeah, you know, but I sent a little bit of being unsure.
Well, what do you take of him actually going to Texas, working with Derek James? It's a new nucleus there. You know, there's a lot of big names in that gym, from Errol to Jamal, Martin. Do you think that is going to serve him well? Or?
I mean, I think he just tried to do what's best for him. He think that's best for him. But you know, from my experience, it takes time to build a great relationship with the trainer. So you know,
but there's always that first fight. There's always that first.
Yeah,
time.
but you know, it gets deeper than boxing sometimes. Like, I'm pretty sure, like, if y'all been in the gym or you got a personal trainer, y'all been around him for months or years upon, he knows things about you. He knows when you're being lazy. He knows when you're lacking. He knows when you're not giving your all.
Right.
He knows when something's bothering you. Right. He knows, like, it gets a little deeper than boxing sometimes. So I feel like my coaches know me inside out. You know, they can say certain stuff that can get me fired up. They don't even have to be mean or yell or even tell me to do certain things. They can just know how to come to me and get me fired up, get me riled up, get me pumping, get me going, you know, so we just have a deep relationship.
Jermaine, this has been billed as the AJ show. Let's not pretend it's not, right? A lot of people have already planned out AJ's next 2 or 3 fights. They're talking about Fury potentially in the summer, Wilder in the summer. How do you feel about that? Like, it's almost as though they are overlooking you again.
They always overlook me. You know, I'm comfortable here. I feel no pressure from it. I'm at home. I've always been an underdog. You know, like I say before, where we from, we don't get a lot of opportunities. So we prove people wrong every day just by making it out or doing something positive with our life.
Absolutely. You're already a winner just being here.
Just being here.
Yeah, I hear you. I want to know something. That Jermaine Franklin that fought Dillian White, that exact performance, does that kind of performance level beat Anthony Joshua, or do you guys step it up?
I'm going to be way better than that.
No, I'm saying, would it? I know you're going to be better.
If I do it,
kind of performance.
If I did it the right way, yeah, I can get the job done. But it's really all about the fighter and the level of fighter and you know, having a game plan and strategize on how to attack. You know, sometimes we get so brutal and we just get stuck in the mindset of fighting. Yeah. But at the end of the day, it's all strategy. It's more of a mental game than it is physical.
100%.
So I want to keep myself in that mental aspect. I would say in that Dylan fight, I was more of a physical aspect. I was in there really just fighting. I feel like I didn't have a lot of time to prepare. You know, was fresh off the job, had to come out here for a couple weeks, deal with jet lag. I'm doing all this while
so that was
trying
straight
to get in shape.
We're going to see a little more skill.
Yeah, you're going to see all skill.
You said levels, right? There's different levels, and a lot of times, often in boxing, we say great fighters fight up to their opponent. So do you feel like because AJ's at that level, you have to be way better?
I'm going to fight better. I fight better as the opposition gets better.
Do you think you can knock him out?
I think I can knock anybody out. I got that much confidence in myself. Yeah. You know, like I tell anybody, if you have the slightest doubt in your mind, you're in the wrong damn sport. This ain't it for you.
I know you told us that you had a job. You was doing this with a job. Was the Dillian White the first time you quit your job and went full time?
Yup, they called me actually while I was at work. They called me.
Hold on, boys. Hold on.
Yeah.
Can you tell us what were you doing? What was the job?
It was like it's a commercial roofing company called Duralast. I did like this little vinyl that they make and put it in between these other two.
Have you spoken to your coworkers since? Because you a star now.
No, I've been gone.
You didn't give him a 2 weeks notice in that?
I mean, I told him what was going on.
He gave him a 2-minute notice.
He said, look,
wait. So let me understand this. So in terms of a life change for you, 8 months ago, you're working full-time, and now you're headlining against AJ at a sold-out O2 Arena?
Yeah, working 12-hour shifts. Couldn't even go to the gym.
That's a sign of don't give up. That's honestly a sign of don't give up.
That's the type of confidence I got myself. In the back of my head, I always knew my time would come. You know, I was getting a little disappointed and depressed because I didn't know how long it would take for it to come, but when I got that phone call, it was time to turn it up. Right.
Can I ask about the phone call for this fight? Obviously, I understand the phone call for the Dillian White fight. And again, it's a fight I personally thought you won, but the record books say you lost. So a lot of people maybe would have said, Jermaine, don't get another opportunity. What was the phone call like when it's like, okay, we want you to fight the former unified heavyweight champion of the world?
Not to sound cocky or nothing, but I kind of felt it was coming. You know, in my heart, I kind of felt it was coming. Yeah, because of my performance and you know, just from seeing social media and stuff, Eddie was kind of getting a little bit of slack based upon that decision. And, you know, that's one of the reasons I think I love England so much, because y'all real about how y'all feel about the sports. You know,
you say y'all, you gotta look over there. You gotta look over there. I'm from Brooklyn. I'm from Brooklyn, baby.
No, 1 second, but I said he won.
You got that.
But like they real about how they feel. I was getting a lot of love on social media, and you know, a lot of people was just straight up telling me like, I ain't even know who the hell you was. Like, I'm not even a fan of yours, but I think you know what I'm saying. I think you did your thing. I think you won. So I think in that aspect, AJ was there. I think he knows in his mind. I mean, you know, a lot of people probably won't admit it, but I think he knew I would have been a better fight than them.
Yeah, you know, a lot of people say, Franklin has nothing to lose all the game, but as a fighter, I'm pretty sure you feel in your head you do have something to lose.
I mean, I just look at it as like, you know, it's do or die. We always got something to lose in this sport, you know. Right. So I just look at every situation like I got everything to lose.
Before we let you go, give me a prediction. Sorry.
You know, my prediction is my hands being raised at the end by any cost. You know, if I can get the knockout, that's what I'm going for. I'm nice and strong right now, so if we can get him to crumble, then we gonna try to break him. But if not, then we dominate.
That AJ is saying, if I lose to this guy, I just need to retire.
Yeah, I mean, I find it as disrespectful. I feel.
I think AJ meant if I lose, I retire.
A lot of
as opposed to this guy.
I don't know.
I think it was like if I lose.
I agree with that.
I don't know about that. If he lose to Fury, do you think he would say that?
A lot of interviewers ask me like, if he loses to me, do I think his career is over? You know, I find it kind of disrespectful because I feel like the people's calling me shit. Like I'm not nothing of a fighter to beat them. You know, so. You know, I find it somewhat disrespectful, but you know, this is boxing. They got their favorites until you wake everybody else up, and then, you know, it's a coattail game.
But you could be right. Maybe he's just saying a third loss in a row.
Maybe he's just saying. Yeah. But look, regardless, I know you're going to put on a good performance on Saturday. Look forward to seeing you at the weigh-in on Friday as well. I can't wait to see what's underneath this. I feel like there could be like a Ferrari underneath.
How many abs you got?
Yeah, I probably got 4. I ain't got the 6.
You got 4. Maybe 2.
I got to tone it up a little bit. I ain't got it, but it's
but what you got is skills.
Small, though.
You got skills.
Yeah, most
that's for damn sure. That's what you showed me against Dillian White. You got skills.
Yeah, I'm ready to go.
You can fight.
Good luck. He's got skills that pay the bills. Look, we're going to see this man on Friday, the way in Shepherd's Bush. You can join us, by the way, Westfield Shepherd's Bush. We're all going to be there. The whole team, obviously Jermaine Franklin, all the undercard, AJ. Make sure you join us. Remember, it's live on DAZN.
The new dawn of Anthony Joshua begins, with all future fights live exclusively on DAZN. Rising with a clear mission. Come back stronger. Redemption is in the ring. Witness the rise. Starting with Joshua versus Franklin, April 1st, live only on DAZN. Sign up at dazn.com.